All right, Sarah, how can you see if you're turned away or on? That's what you might want to see too. All right, Cherokee, can you sit down on the carpet, please?
This place right here.
Okay, we only have like 5 minutes to read, so we better quiet down so that we can get all the story in. All right, I got to choose the new book, and I'm very excited about it because it's like my favorite book. It's like my favorite movie. It's Matilda.
Oh!
Have you guys seen this movie or read this book before?
I've seen the
You've seen the movie? It's pretty good.
I like the author.
Oh, okay. It's by Roald Dahl. Isn't that how you spell your last name? Yeah. Ah, Reed wrote it.
Okay.
Okay. So this is called Matilda. And our voices should be off because, like I said, we only have 5 minutes to read. So, want me to read the back part? It says a little preview. Do you ever do that? You never do a little preview of your books?
I don't care.
Let's do a preview. Who put super glue in Dad's hat? Was it really a ghost that made Mom's hair out of the house? Matilda is a genius with idiot parents. Should we ever say the word idiot, though? No. This is just a book, so we're just reading it. And she's having a great time driving them crazy. But at school, things are different. At school, there's Miss Trunchbull, 200 menacing pounds of kid-hating headmistress. Does that sound like a good time at school?
No.
Yes. Get rid of Trunchbull and Matilda would be a hero. But that would take a superhuman genius, wouldn't it? Okay, so we're going to get started. And there's a few pictures that I'll try to show. Okay, they're kind of these little drawings. So, very first one, I bet that's Matilda. Matilda is a girl's name. Have you heard that name before?
Yes.
I don't know too many people named Matilda.
Could be a girl or boy name.
I guess it could be, yeah, if you wanted. All right, the reader of books. It's a funny thing about mothers and fathers. Even when their own child is the most disgusting little blister you could ever imagine, they still think that he or she is wonderful. Some parents go further. They become so blinded by adoration. Oh, what's adoration mean? That's a big word. Does anyone know? Adoration? No guesses? No ideas? What's it mean if you adore something? Cameron.
You love it.
Yeah, you love it. So adoration has that word adore kind of at the beginning. So adoration means they become so blinded by their love for something that they manage to convince themselves their child has qualities of genius. Well, there's nothing very wrong with all this. It's the way of the world. It is only when the parents begin telling us about the brilliance of their own revolting offspring that we should shout, "Bring us a basin. We're going to be sick." Here's some new pictures. If you want to see, they're all drawings, pictures. A basin is kind of like a bowl, or you can think of a basin that you're going to hold something in. School teachers suffer a great deal from having to listen to this sort of twaddle from proud parents, but they usually get their own back when the time comes to write the end of term reports. If I were a teacher, I would cook up some real scorchers for the children of doting parents. Your son, Maximilian, I would write, is a total washout. I hope you have a family business you can push him into when he leaves school, because he sure won't get a job anywhere else. Or if I were feeling lyrical that day, I might write, it is a curious truth that grasshoppers have their hearing organs in the sides of their abdomen. Your daughter, Vanessa, judging by what she's learned this term, has no organs at all. So what is the teacher saying about her? Does she listen well?
No.
No. I might even delve deeper into a natural history and say the periodical cicada spends 6 years as a grub underground, and no more than 6 days as a free creature of sunlight and air. Your son Wilfred has spent 6 years as a grub in this school, and we're still waiting for him to emerge from a chrysalis. What's a chrysalis? Tristan, do you know what a chrysalis is? Yeah, kind of like that egg, that thing that those bugs emerge from. Okay. And where a particularly poisonous little girl might sting me into saying, Fiona has the same glacial beauty as an iceberg, but unlike the iceberg, she has absolutely nothing below the surface. I think I might enjoy writing end-of-term reports for the stinkers in my class, but enough of that. We have to get on. Did you see the pictures on the last page? There's these. Here's some more on this one. Your cousin's name is Fiona? There's lots of names we've mentioned. Yeah.
That Fiona, that looks like she's looking at me.
Ooh, that does look like. Do we think this is Fiona or could it be somebody else? Somebody else? Who do you think it could be?
Matilda.
Matilda. Occasionally, one comes across parents who take the opposite line, who show no interest at all in their children. And these, of course, are far worse than the doting ones. Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood were two such parents. They had a son called Michael and a daughter called Matilda. And the parents looked upon Matilda in a particular as nothing more than a scab. Oh, do they think that they pay much attention to her?
No.
A scab is something that you have to put up with until the time comes when you can pick it up and flick it away. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood looked forward enormously to the time when they could pick their little daughter up and flick her away, preferably into the next county or even further than that. That's not very nice. All right, 30 more seconds. It is bad enough when parents treat ordinary children as though they were scabs and bunions. But it's become somehow a lot worse when the child in question is extraordinary. And by that, I mean sensitive and brilliant. Matilda was both of these things, but above all, she was brilliant. What's it mean if you're brilliant? Cash.
Like, really good at something? Like,
Yeah.
she's like brilliant at math?
Yeah, she might be brilliant at math. Can you be brilliant at reading?
Yes.
Yeah, can you be brilliant at soccer?
Yes.
Yeah, so it means you're really good at something, you're really smart. Her mind was so nimble and she was so quick to learn that her ability should have been obvious even to the most half-witted of parents. But Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood were both so gormless and so wrapped up in their own silly little lives that they failed to notice anything unusual about their daughter. To tell the truth, I doubt they would have noticed if she crawled into the house with a broken leg. Okay, we're going to stop there because it's time to go. So let's have you guys, we don't want to go back to tables. So why don't you not run or push or anything, go back to your tables and grab your stuff and then line up quietly.
Reed, you said something in your book not finished. Can you finish it before you go?
You turned in your books.
And I'm going to grab this.